Welcome everybody, and we are going to be looking at the Star of Bethlehem, where we had our three wise men that sort of like pointed at it and say, hey, let's follow that thing in the sky. Anyways, there's going to be a reason why they're following the sky, because it doesn't make any sense from the get-go, but we have to go to our show, which is the 77th show, and I'll be representing this with this first symbol and that symbol, and you're going to say, what doesn't equal to 77 because this is two triangles and makes 6. Nope. We are going to be using our magical hats, and we are going to make the truth what we want it to be, and we're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces, and we are going to be looking at the 5 stars, pointed star, and the 2 angles of the moon here. So that's a 7 and that's a 7. That's our 77th show, and there's a reason why I bring you into the stars, because we are going to the planets, and the planets over here, as you can see, the 5th planet is Jupiter and the 2nd planet is Venus. And why am I talking about this planet? Because the conjunction in the sky of this created, that's right, exactly what he's pointing here at, the Star of Bethlehem. So the conjunction of the planet Jupiter and Venus in the sky, as you can see over here, all right, in this little picture where it actually happened recently, gives us the Star of Bethlehem. This is very important because we are taking the 2nd planet and it is in conjunction with the 5th planet, and that gives us our number 7. And very important because he was a lucky kid. He was born under the Star of Bethlehem, and it's associated to the number 7 through the fact that the planet number 5 meets up with the planet number 2. And you're saying, well, this doesn't make sense. Well, it does make sense because the attributes of Jupiter are given to the Son of Man through the words King of Kings. Now, where did this nonsense came from? Well, it came from our friend Jupiter, all right? Jupiter happens to be the king of gods. You get it now? All right, Jupiter is the king of gods, and Venus, being the 2nd planet, is associated to female, and therefore a goddess. And that being said, she is the goddess of fertility as well as romance and love. So what do you think happened when Zeus met up with the goddess of fertility and love? Well, poof, this came out. All right, so he's also associated with the he's the god of light in the sky. So all this being said, this was it was created inside the Bible. It was created by very people that played with mythology as well as astrology and word magic, and this gave you the King of Kings. Now, talking about magic, you had the star, and you had these 3 wise men following the star. Now, maybe unbeknown to you is that the word wise men, okay, is actually maybe not exact, because they were magi's, and magi's happens to be what was it in Greek? From the Greek is a Persian priest, which, yeah, okay, well, you got some priests, but they're also sorcerers. Okay, so now instead of saying wise men, why don't we say that 3 witches came to see the Son of God, which obviously we're not supposed to be dabbling inside of witchcraft, but on his very first day, or on the 12th day, because sometimes they say they came on the 12th day, and we're going to be looking at that in a second. Well, kind of suspicious that 3 sorcerers came to see this child that was sort of born, all right, out of magic. So that being said, we are going to be looking, yeah, he was born in the house of bread, which is Bethlehem, and the word Beth should be very concerning to anybody, because Beth means duality. It's the 2nd letter of the alphabet in Hebrew, and is associated to feminine. It is associated to house, and it's also associated to duality, since it's being the 2nd letter of the alphabet. Okay, it's also associated to this symbol here. But as you can see, the 2nd planet in the solar system is also associated to woman, which is the goddess. All right, so that being said, let's pass on to our Feast of the Epiphany, which we're going to be looking over here, and just happens to be that the feast is on the 12th day, which is very important because we all know where we're going with this. So we are looking at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the 12th day is the 6th day of January, and it just happens to be that 6 is associated to man. All right, so we have he was a son and he was a man. So maybe the idea that he's the son of man comes from this feast, but I'm going to leave that up in the air and I'm going to let you decide. But that being said, we're going to find out on the 12th day. This has to do with the Father, like the 12 months, the 12 hours, the 12 apostles, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 imams inside of Islam. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. We got a lot of 12. But anyways, 12 is always associated to who? Well, it's associated to this guy, all right, indirectly, but still it's associated to this. I've proven it in the past. He has a little circle and he has duality, and that's the first letter of the alphabet and that's the second letter of the alphabet, alphabet, all right? So associated through symbols, okay? And the first letter of the alphabet is ox. But let's go do the mathematics, okay? So the ox, okay, is the first letter of the alphabet, is the ox, okay? Now ox, okay, if you take the O is the 15th letter of the alphabet, and 1 plus 5 equals 6. That equals, well, let's go here first before I give you the final numbers. The X is the 24th letter of the alphabet. That also equals 6 because 4 plus 2 equals 6, so 6 and 6 equals 12, and we have our ox, and that's how we find out all of this. We got Obama here saying, what the fuck, excuse my language, what the hell are you saying? And we are looking over here that the first letter of the alphabet, Aleph, is associated to the circle because it has one surface, and this is the first letter, and it's also associated to one angle, the number 1. So this brings us all the way back down over here where the word father is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet and the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is Aleph Bet, and that gives you your phonetic duality, which is the alphabet. Now, the alphabet is the actual God, all right? You all are under a spell, and which is kind of sad because you're all on your hands and knees in front of, you know, like whatever came out of the Kabbalah, and the alphabet came out of the Kabbalah for the Hebrews. So that being said, we had Obama here that was participating in this cult, and lo and behold, he also had something to do with what's going on here. And maybe one day he will say, oh, okay, I just didn't know, or he will say it's a coincidence, and that's always how they get away with it. They say it's a coincidence. All right, so beautiful that we have a little bit of Obama magic here, but the magic doesn't stop there. It's inside of your money system, and the kings and queens were participating in magic rituals inside of the middle of the woods. So once you start understanding that magic is not an accident, you can go back to over here and say, well, maybe your king of kings is just a magical story that you should not be following anymore, and therefore you take a step back and say, wait a minute, maybe we have to let go of the legend. All right, so that's it, that's all. Take care, Merry Christmas.